set.
Well, Matthew Hudson-Smith only needs a couple of strides to start pulling away from his German counterpart, Manuel Sanders. Hudson-Smith, though, will be running blind for this entire leg. But he's running a terrific race at the moment. Also running well is Isaiah Brewers of the Netherlands. But Hudson-Smith having an absolutely blinding leg. He's run a blistering time. The rest, well, they're just battling for second place at the moment. Hudson-Smith, a big gap. Coming through strongly at the moment. It's the Belgium also, as well as France. Gilles Biron once again running a good opening leg for the French. But the British hand over first. So we're just coming up to the breaking point. Charlie Dobson just about to head for the inside, and he cuts across right away from lane 8. He's got a 2-meter advantage over Julian Watron. Watron ran Belgian national record in the 400 meters hurdles earlier in these championships, but it's Dobson, this versatile youngster, 4th in the 200 meters, and he's also a very, very accomplished 400-meter runner. And it's Dobson maintaining the lead ahead of Belgium and France. The Netherlands, Limavin Bonavaccia, straining and struggling to hand over the baton to Joachim Dobber. No doubt at all, though, Britain's Lewis Davey has got the lead, and he's starting to move away from the men behind them. It's a 4-way battle for silver and bronze at the moment, with the French in front. But right the way ahead by a good 3 meters, it's Lewis Davey. Davey running a very competent, very assured third leg for Great Britain. Round the outside, it's Oscar Husilis, who was so disappointing in the individual 400 meters. Davey now starting to strain. The Belgians and the French starting to close in on the youngster. But Davey still holding pole position. Hands over first to Alex Haydock-Wilson. The French try and get up on the Haydock-Wilson's shoulder. They're queuing up behind him. But this is a man who got the bronze in the 400 meters and is a very, very good lead anchor runner. So Haydock-Wilson in front with 250 meters to go. France's Thomas Jordier, a great relay runner in himself, tucked in behind him. The Belgians starting to slip back very, very slightly, and it's Spain in 4th at the moment with Samuel Garcia trying to get up into the medals. But it's Alex Haydock-Wilson holding the inside line, moving out into lane 2. The French and the Belgians have got to go the long way round if they're to get past Haydock-Wilson, but they don't. It's Britain, gold. We'll give you confirmation of who else gets the medals. It looks like France followed home by Belgium, but it's very, very tight. But there's no doubt at all. And a terrific anchor leg for Alex Haydock-Wilson. Truly assured. And Great Britain, Northern Ireland win that race, having got the lead almost from the very first stride of Matthew Hudson-Smith on the opening leg.
National record for Spain in 4th. That's a super impressive performance, but it did take sub 3 minutes to get into the medals. France and Belgium were pulling each other ever so close to that British team. In the last 20 or 30 meters, you thought it could be anybody's, but Alex Haydock-Wilson of Great Britain and Northern Ireland holding on. Saw that lovely moment in the call room where Matt Hudson-Smith pointed at his head. He said to Alex Haydock-Wilson, I'm sure it was something along the lines of, you're going to have to get this really right. You could get the baton in the lead. But the two weaker, inverted commas, athletes in the middle legs, big hitters at the 1st and 3rd. And what a great job from Dobson and his teammate to keep them in contention.
Well, Matthew Hudson-Smith, 2 individual golds, but he's gone from bronze in 2016, silver in 2018, and now gold with the men's 4x400 meter quartet for Great Britain and Northern Ireland.
Yeah, Belgium, of course, won this title 4 years ago, so they've swapped the top 2 back again. But Alex Haydock-Wilson was someone who was really disappointed with his run in the mixed relay at the World Championships. Said he didn't feel fully up to scratch and up to speed to take part. 2 inexperienced athletes, Dobson and Davey, in the middle of things, but Haydock-Wilson in the end brought it home. You just wondered whether the Frenchman Jordier was going to come past and then try and make it a race down the home straight, but Haydock-Wilson held on to the lead right until the end.
Dobson and Desensky, this is the reality of 4x400 here. We're going to see it on the women's side as well. It's a very physical event. Normally these athletes are just separated in their own lanes. It's a different beast when you turn into a relay, even more so indoors. But that's also the advantage of having a good runner on your first leg. You can separate yourself from the pack and not have to deal with any of that drama. I think that was another team tactic from Great Britain and Northern Ireland that paid off in there. For them, Dylan Borlée was fastest in the qualifying legs, the only athlete going sub-45, and that was another heroic leg from a Borlée at the European Championships, but only enough for silver today.
Well, that was also a very astute bit of running over the final 50 or 60 metres by Alex Haydock-Wilson. He gently moved out into the second lane, and he didn't impede anybody, but if the French or the Belgians or perhaps the Spaniards were to get round him, they had to go the long way. They had to run those extra metres, and in the end, they couldn't. Alex Haydock-Wilson, great tactics there down the home straight for Great Britain, Northern Ireland. A really, really clever bit of relay running from the anchor leg component of the British quartet.
So, of course, the women's 4x4 final to follow in a few moments' time. We've got to settle the pole vault for the men and the javelin for the women, and then the women's 3,000-metre steeplechase still to come this evening. Don't go anywhere.